Hey, it's Wizard. I'm now from Allen Park or close to Hanover. This is the truck that we built.
What is it?
81 Peterbilt 362, 400 cat, so it's a 30 for 406A, B, C, and E.
What?
Yeah,
A little bit of everything? Is
it
this
is.
why they call you the wizard?
This is what we found out when we started going at it. We think that, well, or obviously A, the fuel system and all that was original, and then we think they had to put a C head on it with a B block, and then the guy I got it from had already put an E turbo on. So when we're getting parts, we're like, hey, this is, and Paul and I had run all the numbers, and when we found out the cat part number, sure enough, it was a bit of a surprise.
A little bit of Frankenstein truck.
Yeah, but it seems to work all right.
How long did the build take?
We would have been like probably 7 years just because of time and work, and
Doing other things.
yeah, had to make a living also.
Is this just a show truck or is this a work truck?
It was originally built as a work truck. We haven't got around to working it all, so far it's only been show.
And it's been here a few times.
Yep.
Other shows too?
Yep, Teeswater, which was a local show because I built it in Teeswater, or we built it in Teeswater, and it was a local show. We were asked to go down to Truck World 3 years ago, so we got to visit there and take the truck with us and take it out for groceries every now and then, get a loaf of bread. And
What was it like when you got it?
really, really, really rough. All the electrical was garbage. It was a gray paint. Almost everything needed redone in some way or another, but the basic cab was decent, so that's where we started.
Was it from somewhere up here?
Originally, it was from Bluebird Bus Company. They bought it new, and it was a US truck. And then finally, it made its way up to Bluebird in Canada, apparently. And then somebody else bought it, and then somebody else bought it, I believe, and then somebody owed me money, and that was the way that I got my money out. And it got delivered with a tow truck, and the drive shaft was corkscrewed out of it, so we couldn't even move it. It had to be started with a screwdriver, and you couldn't shut it off without snuffing the engine out.
What's with this unique setup?
So I have a Freightliner also, and I had big ideas to do different exhaust on mine.
This one?
Correct. So that's why it's got no exhaust. And we took the whole Freightliner ladder off because it was in very good shape. Paul loves the top hat look, and he wanted the single. So we took the breather off my truck too. And
so this guy's been sacrificed.
It has, but
it's
been happy.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
What's the wheelbase?
208.
Is that factory?
No, we found out. So the original tanks, when we got it, were about this long, and the wheel started here. It was an extremely short tandem on spring ride. And that's the only reason we know some of that is a friend was nice enough to send us a picture that they ran across after it had come to Canada and after it was out of service. So we do have those pictures, and it was pretty neat.
It rides a little bit better now, I see.
It does. So after we put it together in our first trip to Toronto for the show, Paul came back and said, hey, this thing rides a lot better than that 2022 Peterbilt I just drove last week. Our business has changed, so I'm not sure I have the time to go trucking anymore.
But you're the wizard, and it's Oz Truck and Trailer?
Yes.
Is that?
Yep, you got her.
Is there a story behind that?
Just somebody that I work with started calling me that, and then when I started the business, it made sense.
Well, let's take a peek inside. Is this a normal setup on a 362? The extra handles? Yeah?
Yes.
I like that.
Obviously, because of the holes in the panels, we decided instead of filling them with body fill, we came up with the plate idea. That was Paul's suggestion, and it actually worked out very well. Dressed it up a little and got rid of all of that issue, because you know how that breaks out. If you body fill it and you start squishing stuff, it breaks.
How about the stripes? Where did that
So Paul spent a lot of time on Peterbilt picturing, and he found this stripe setup, except it was only ever come out of factory that we could find on a double bunk. So we spent 14 man hours just drawing out the stripes on the truck, and we
needed me. I do digital rendering.
No way.
Now you know. Now you know for next time.
I guess so. And we got one side pretty well laid out, and it was pretty good. And then we came the other side and found out that Peterbilt moved the vent 3/4 of an inch, and it ruined the stripe, so we had to relabel it, redo it.
Well, it looks pretty sweet now that it's all wrapped up.
Not bad for an old truck.
This thing is high. That's quite a climb. I'm gonna.
So now I'm gonna go left
Is that
under the wheel.
Okay.
And then you can go.
Can I use that handle up there?
Yep.
Thank you. We're in.
So the original colors for the interior when we got it was mouse poop and a Peterbilt's reddish burgundy color.
Oxblood? Is that, or is that a Kenworth thing?
No, I think you're right. And it just didn't do the look that Paul was shooting for. So some of the interior stuff is original, and he did a bunch of research and found a paint that will re-dye it, and it worked out extremely well. The back wall is all factory of the original color, but original product, but now recolored.
Yeah, with paint.
Yeah, it's a paint product, and it really worked out. It seems to be way more durable than expected.
Yeah, you cannot tell it's painted.
No, and we did a test, like, you know, painted something and then flexed it and scratched it, and it really stood up okay. So then he did the whole interior, him and his wife.
You have working AC?
Nope, haven't got that far.
You have a very shiny looking fan over there.
On the original trip, that was the only way to get there, because we went to Toronto in March in an ice storm, and it had no heater system in it yet and no wipers.
Oh geez.
So my apprentice at the time, he was in the passenger side helping keep the window clean so they could get there. It was the perfect wrong day for truck show.
So as you were building it, was there anything that you realized it absolutely needs such and such?
Like, you mean to make it the way we want it?
Yeah, anything that it didn't have maybe originally that you're like,
I don't know.
Such a disaster to start with, says Paul in the background. What was the first thing that you saw and you're like, oh, that's got to be fixed, like, immediately?
Open the door and the smell.
Yeah,
the smell.
It was terrible.
Mice
and something else. It was
something
wretched.
You probably don't want to know what it was.
It was wretched.
Well, I will say from sitting in here, you fixed whatever it was. It's just fine now.